So welcome to Powerup DC Executive Luncheon. My name is Linda Wharton-Boyd. Thank you. My name is Linda Wharton-Boyd. I'm the Chief Communications Officer and a whole lot of other things for DC Health Link, which is the district's online health insurance marketplace. And we service not only individuals and families. Hey, Maria, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, you can have a seat. We service individuals and family as well as small businesses. And thanks to the Obama administration, we can now offer the Affordable Care Act, quality, affordable health insurance for everybody. And the good news is that 50 million Americans now have affordable health insurance, and that's a big deal thanks to the Obama administration. We are so grateful that all of you came out to be with us at this 11th annual Powerup DC. I know this is an overpacked luncheon, but we know how we are. We want to come at the last minute and purchase the last minute, but it's okay. I love my people. Okay, so it is my pleasure to introduce the mistress of ceremonies for this luncheon. We talked this morning about the firecracker, and we talked this morning about the powerhouse. You got that all in one with this MC. Her name is C-Bone Gilly Cook, very good friend, and she is on it. C-Bone, come and welcome our guests.
I don't know about all of that, but hi everyone. How's everybody doing? I need to see more smiles, more excitement. Let's bring some light to this room, right? Are we ready? Yes, yes, yes. Hello. I'm so excited. What?
Bring some light to this room.
Yes.
This
What
how
you want me to do?
This is how you do. Okay, everybody,
Oh, she about
we
to
need
do the
some help.
chant. Y'all ready?
When I say power up, you say DC. Okay?
Y'all ready?
All right. When I say power up, you say
DC.
Sit down. Sit down. Power up.
DC.
Sit down. Power up.
DC.
Sit down. Power up.
DC.
All right.
There you go. Y'all, that was the health portion of that was the, somebody said they need health insurance. You're at the right place. You are at the right place. Did you get your workout in, everybody? Yes? Wonderful, wonderful. It is such an honor and delight. Whatever Dr. Linda tells me to do, I'm like, I'm going to do it. Just text me, whatever. Yes, ma'am. I don't even know what I'm doing, but okay. Whatever, I don't mind. Once again, my name is Sabungali Cook. I'm the Director of Destination Development in the Deputy Mayor's Office for Planning and Economic Development, and I bring you greetings on behalf of the Deputy Mayor. So I'm super excited to be here. I'm going to be your MC. I'm going to try not to disappoint Dr. Linda, or she will never invite me back again. Whew. Okay. So what I'd like to ask, this is the 11th one that we've held. Who's been to the last 10? Raise a show of hands. I see some folks. The last 9? Maybe? What? Oh, my goodness. You guys have been missing it. There have been so many of these that are awesome. But that's okay. You're here today. So we're going to be all right. What I'd like to first do is bring some very, very special people up here. But prior to that, I'd love to announce those who have helped us make this event special. Please hold your applause while I announce these folks. And as I name your organization, please raise your hand so people can see how you have poured into these events in a very special way. I'm going to start off with the DC Chamber of Commerce. You see me looking at you over there. Raise your hands. All the members of DC Chamber of Commerce, there we go, yes. How about the Greater Washington Hispanic Chamber of Commerce? Yep, there we go, I see you, I see you. How about the DC Department of Small and Local Business Development? I see you. And how about the DC Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking? I saw some folks, where are you? Where did they go? Did they just disappear? I know they're here. The National Association of Benefits and Insurance Professionals. Are you here in the room? Are you here? We want to thank you. Thank you so much. And then also the Restaurant Association of Metropolitan Washington. Woo-hoo! There we go. There we go. Now, I know some of you might have already gotten your salad and you started to eat, but I'd love to introduce this amazing human, Reverend Karen Curry. I see her. Come on up. Come on up, Reverend. Associate Minister and First Lady at the Pennsylvania Avenue Baptist Church of Washington, D.C., to offer our blessing and invocation here. So Reverend Karen Curry has worked to improve the quality of life for District Columbia residents for over 30 years through her service in the Pennsylvania Avenue Baptist Church in Ward 7 and at the House D.C. in Ward 8, a highly effective after-school ministry that has served and transformed the lives of youth and families since 1999. That's a thing, you guys. That's a big deal. She's developed and taught creative, thought-provoking workshops and retreats focused on spiritual and social and academic life skills, as well as leadership development for high school students and adults. Reverend Karen Curry, come on down.
Good afternoon. Again, I am Reverend Karen Curry. I am a minister in the Christian faith, and so as such, I'm an ambassador, if you will, for Jesus Christ. But I'm honored to be here today representing the wider community of faith as we have people from all faiths and all walks of life gathered and coming together here today for this awesome opportunity to celebrate the blessing that small businesses are to this country, and to encourage you all on your journey. And so on behalf of the faith community, as I prepare to pray, I just want to say we appreciate the recognition that members of the faith community are also stakeholders, and for simply giving faith a seat at the table. Let us pray. Lord God, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for this powerful gathering. In spite of the various uncertainties that abound, one thing is certain, and that is that your sovereign hand is still at work. And in your mighty and merciful hands, all things still work together for good. Oh, merciful and majestic one, we ask that you stir up the gifts that you place deep within the heart and soul of every single person gathered here today. Gifts that are part of their very heritage and are in their DNA. For you knew them before they were formed in the womb, and you know the plans you have for them, plans for a future and a hope. May they not limit themselves to their own understanding, but allow your Holy Spirit to teach them great and mighty things which they do not know, and orchestrate divine connections that will lead to fortuitous and fruitful enterprises. If anyone lacks wisdom as to how to accomplish what traditional mindsets say cannot be done, show them how you can do exceedingly abundantly above all they could ask or imagine. Show them how it is that they can earn a respectable income while yet respecting their teens by covering them with insurance and other basic necessities. Create paradigm shifts in here today. Lord, bless this entire gathering, all that has already taken place, all that is yet to come. Bless all who have poured their heart, sweat, and tears into bringing this incredible gathering together. And as we pause now to break bread together, bless this food. Bless those who have prepared and presented it. May it nourish our bodies as you nourish our minds and spirits. And may every business owner and future business owner leave this place ready to not only continue to undergird our economic landscape, but to transform it. In the name of the one who is, was, and who is to come, I pray. Amen.
All right. Thank you so much, Reverend Curry. Greeting us today with another important partner in this work is improving conditions in D.C. to allow our small businesses to thrive and make the city's vibrant economy work for everyone. Through providing meaningful volunteer opportunities and establishing partnerships with community and faith-based organizations, the private sector, and local and federal, the Mayor's Office on Volunteerism and Partnership is making an impact on the lives of district residents who are most in need. Let's please welcome Chief Service Officer and Director Dominique Scott. Come on down.
Good afternoon, everyone. I won't make everyone to stand up. We've already done that. But I loved that exercise. I'm going to take that up to my next event. It is a pleasure to be here with so many of our city's incredible small business leaders and community champions, especially during Small Business Week. On behalf of Mayor Bowser and the entire team at Serve DC, the Mayor's Office on Volunteerism and Partnerships, I want to thank DC HealthLink for continuing to create spaces like the Powerup Summit where ideas, innovation, and impact intersect. As Mayor Bowser has always emphasized, our collective goal is not only to help local businesses start, but to ensure they stay and thrive right here in the district. The theme this year, empowering small businesses in a changing landscape, couldn't be more timely. In a city as dynamic as Washington, D.C., small businesses are more than just storefronts and service providers. They are the backbone of our neighborhoods, economic engines, job creators, and trusted partners in community development. Before I ever held a title, I was just a broke college student at Howard University, the illustrious Howard University. You know. 12 hours away from my home in Chicago. After class, I would walk to Ben's Chili Bowl and sit at the counter and do my homework. They'd offer me a slice of red velvet cake and encourage me to keep going and stay focused. I didn't have much, but I always knew I had a place at their counter. I was surrounded by love, by community, by people who reminded me where I belong. That's what makes DC and its small businesses so special. Ben's didn't grow into the DC staple it is today just because of business acumen or financial investment. It grew because it invested in its community, and the community lifted it up. This is true for small businesses all across the district. We rise together. Now, as the director of Serve DC, I carry these same values with me. At Serve DC, we know that real empowerment happens when public and private sectors work together to meet community needs. This is especially true for businesses who are committed to corporate responsibility and who understand that stewardship is not just good citizenship, it's smart business. It means investing in your community and showing up when it matters most and creating pathways for others to do the same. Volunteerism remains one of the most powerful ways we can strengthen our city, and we've seen time and time again that when businesses embrace a culture of service, when they create a space for their employees to get back and support local causes, everybody wins. Through our programs like the DC Volunteer Snow Team Hero Program, National Days of Service, and countless emergency response efforts, we've seen what's possible when local businesses, government, and residents come together. And we are proud to continue supporting and amplifying those efforts. As you look towards the future, I encourage each of you to think about your role and the role your business can play in the life of civic duty in our city. When we empower our communities through service and shared responsibility, we're not only supporting our economy, we're building a city where everyone has a fair shot. Thank you again to DC HealthLink for the opportunity to be a part of this important conversation. We're so excited to continue working alongside of all of you to power up the city together. Thank you.
I'm gonna put these glasses on now. I'm trying to act like I can't see. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much, Dominique. Now, it is an absolute treat. I am so tickled. Yes, ma'am, you can come on up because you know this is your time now. I am so ridiculously delighted to be able to introduce this amazing queen. If you don't know who I'm about to say and you've never heard of her before, I would really ask you to Google just her name, and that is it. But I'd like to introduce Denise Rolark Barnes to the stage. Come on up. A round of applause would be amazing right now. Wonderful. While I talk about her. Denise Rolark Barnes is the publisher and second generation owner of the Washington Informer. Yes. Succeeding her father, The late Dr. Calvin W. Rolark, who founded the newspaper in 1964. The Washington Informer is a multimedia organization serving the African American community in the Washington metropolitan area. Denise is also the president of Washington Informer's Charities. That's a nonprofit organization that promotes 21st century literacy, sponsors writing competitions and interns and such, promoting African American history and culture. But today, we celebrate her leadership and her contributions through this iconic Black woman-owned DC business. Miss Rolark Burns.
Ooh, after that, I think I need to sit down. Thank you so very much, Sabongli. Thank you, Linda, for asking me to bring greetings to you all today. And I was going to, Miss Scott had me. I just knew when she said she went to Ben's Chili Bowl and she sat down, and I knew she was going to say she picked up a copy of the Washington Informer. Oh, thank you. All right. You know, I mean, and we missed the HU. I'm a Howard grad too. Howard University. HU. All right, just to make sure they're in the house. So yeah, it's really a pleasure to be here today and to see so many small business owners. And certain words don't come out of my head too well. One, I don't always like the word small, and I don't always like the word woman, and I don't always we are business owners, right? We do business. And so, as I came today, I always sort of get emotional because when my father started the newspaper in 1964, we were right here, 715 G Street, Northwest, where we were for about 10 years. And I watched, as a kid, watched them build the first Martin Luther King Library, and all of downtown was my playground. And all of my babysitters were the small business owners up and down 7th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue and F Street. And you all, and anybody that's been in DC that amount of time, you know there were a lot of little stores we used to go in and out of. And you knew the people that worked there. I even knew all the people that worked at Heck's department store, especially, certain departments I got to know really well. But anyway, I am just glad that we are still, we're here. We're surviving, and we're trying to thrive. These are some very, very difficult times we're going through right now, as we all know. I kept asking as of May 4 years ago, if George Floyd was really dead. And every year I have asked that question because the doors of opportunity, and you all know this, after the unfortunate murder of George Floyd, the doors of opportunity opened for a lot of us, particularly those who were Black-owned, Hispanic-owned businesses. People realized that this equity and diversity and all that we were not getting, it was time for them to step up. And they stepped up whole scale. And all of a sudden, the brakes are on. And it's impacting a lot of us. And so, as my daddy used to always say, if it is to be, it's up to me, and no one can save us for us but us. And so we small business owners, he used to make people repeat it, but I won't ask you to do that because I don't want to see, salad flying across the table like I used to do when he and my stepmother used to argue at the dining room table, and they'd have a minute rice battle. I mean, I just watched this rice going back and forth. So I want to ask you to repeat it, but we know it's true. And as small business owners, with the support of the local government, right, and as nonprofit owners, let's be our own amplifiers of the work that we do, the great work that we do, and the support that we can do for each other. So I will end there because I know you all have some more people to listen to today, and it looks like I'm holding up lunch. So enjoy, and thank you very much.
Miss Denise, come back. We're not done with you yet, but thank you for your welcome. Before you leave, the chairman of the DC Health Benefit Exchange Authority, Ms. Diane Lewis, has something very special for you. Come on down, Ms. Diane.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It is with great pleasure. I'm not a native Washingtonian, but I have been here for a very long time and recognize the legacy of the Informer. And in these difficult times, as you've described, the First Amendment is challenged. And so it is so very important to have the work that you do continue. And we want to celebrate, and we want to speak to it. And we offer to you the Certificate of Appreciation to Denise Rolock Barnes. Congratulations on the 60th anniversary of The Informer. Thank you for providing outstanding news coverage of politics, community, lifestyle, sports, and opinions for the African American community in the DMV region. And thank you so much for continuing that legacy.
So you guys can take a photo.
Okay.
So you guys can take a picture.
Okay. You gonna be okay with that?
You are done. You can now leave. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. All right, can we give one more round of applause? That's 60 years, you guys. 60 years. Well, lunch is about to be served. I'll come back up a little bit later. But why don't you go ahead and enjoy your salads? Another meal is coming, and we'll be back up shortly. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. We hope that you're enjoying your food. We're so glad you're here at Powerup DC 2025. It's story time at Powerup. So please give a hand for our storytellers, our power storytellers. You know, every business is different. Every business is different owner, different industry, different focus, different expertise. But all businesses have one thing in common, and that's their story. And so we want to take a moment out of today's program to really highlight some of the stories of folks who have powered up in their journeys in hopes that it will inspire you, teach you something to the business owners in the room, as well as bring us forward. And so I want to highlight 4 folks who are incredible, dynamic individuals with different industries and different stories, but they've all shown us the power of overcoming success in the changing landscape, which is the theme of our summit today. We're going to go through their stories and allow them a chance just to talk about what they've done. You know, we feel like we've always heard about these dynamic and committed and resilient business owners who make up the economic fabric of our city, but we want to actually give a moment to actually get to know them in a more intimate way. And let's see them. Who are these business owners? So they're right here with us. Our first speaker, I'm going to just give a little preview of each of them before they tell their stories. But Benga Ogunjimi, the founder of Go Global and chief storyteller, tells stories for a living. So he's going to talk to us a little bit about the power of stories and why businesses, nonprofit, for-profit, have to harness their story and the importance of that and what that means. Following Benga, we'll have Manny Cosme, the founder and CEO of CFO Services, who is Small Business 2024 Owner of the Year by the U.S. Small Business Administration. And that's small business owners speak for very successful. And he's also the Washington Business Journal LGBTQIA Business Leader of the Year for last year. So we're so glad to have him to talk about his business accounting firm. We also have Alexis Haggins, owner of Flowers by Alexis, based based in the Petworth area of DC with the incredible history. And lastly, Kathy Fong Lu, founder, owner, creative director of Spa Logic, Lulu Salon, and Lulu Grooming Lounge. So I'll let Benga kick us off. And I'll just say on stories, you know, we've seen it here today. Your story is your unique thing, and whether it's the fact that your owner and founder is a professional ping pong player and can use that gift to enliven an event, or whether your name is Ben's Chili Bowl, which is synonymous, a story synonymous with culture and success. or you're the Washington Informer and your story, or your business is to tell stories, and you've done that for years. That is what this whole thing is about. So without further ado, I'll kick it to Benga to lead us in this session. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please don't stand. Power. Is it DC, right? So, let's do this again. Good afternoon, everyone. Power up. DC. Power up. DC. Power up. DC. Excellent, excellent. So my goal and mission here is a very simple one. It's just to speak to you a few minutes about the power of your story. And this idea that if you have a story, you have a business. Whether you are an aspiring entrepreneur, an established entrepreneur, storytelling and story itself is a tangible asset in our business. But unfortunately, a lot of us has discounted our story or completely even discarded. So quickly, what I want to do is to kind of bring to the surface a particular version of that story you may not have fully honest. And for some of us, you want to think about a specific important story or date in your life. It may be the greatest thing that happened to you. It may be the worst thing that happened to you. But quite frankly, for every one of us, it's usually life-changing. And it makes such an indelible impression that it completely altered the way we see the world. But the challenge is we've not really distilled that experience into a blueprint to architect or articulate a business narrative that we can actually monetize. Think about your balance sheet. So you have this section and column for your assets and your liabilities, right? In the asset is usually tangible and intangible asset. Your story falls in the intangible quadrant of your balance sheet. And my hope today is you begin to look at that really quite differently, that how can I bring this to the surface and how can I monetize it? Quickly, I think of, for me, 2016 was a great year of disruption around the world. There was Brexit in the United Kingdom. There was Trump 2.0 in America. And for me personally, it was a great year of disruption. I just moved to the United States not too long ago, and I was operating this business. And in the business, I was dealing with a legal, financial, moral conundrum. I was owing employees salaries. I was doing with lawyers and vendors. My numbers weren't right. And I was asking myself, how did I put myself in this particular mess? And I shut myself in my apartment thinking, how can I get out of this mess? In that period, I got a phone call from a woman called Sheila Kisasa. And Sheila said, Benga, I've been thinking about you. I want you to be my life coach. And I said, what in the heaven? With all the problems I'm dealing with right now, why would I want to sit down to listen to your own problems? I have enough of that on my plate right now. But before I could talk myself out of that opportunity, she said, think about it, and I'll call you back. And that conversation actually led to my business called Go Global. I went from doing life coaching to career business, executive coaching, impact investing to become a CDFI and doing all kinds of work in that part of technical assistance space. And my greatest insight from that conversation is this. Really, entrepreneurship for me is not so much what someone gives you externally or someone bailing you out when your back is against a financial wall, but the opportunity to reach within yourself, bring out something new, and share that with the world. That something new happens to be your story. And every one of us have a version of that something new that we are undersharing and we have even never shared with the world. So I want to leave you with these three questions. When is your own 2016? When your back was against a financial wall? What is the date that moment occurred? If you were to summarize that in a theme, is there a recurrence of that theme in your life that continue to show up today? And if you think about that theme, is that remotely close to your business? If you can think about your 2016, you can think about your story theme. You have a story. And if you have a story, you have a business. Thank you very much.
Well, now I have to go after that. Thanks. My name is Manny Cosme. I am not a storyteller, but I suppose I will be for this one little session. I'm an accountant by trade, so yeah, I'm very excited here. Maybe my story will put you to sleep. I don't know. So I run a company called CFO Services Group. We are a small business bookkeeping and CFO advisory firm. So we serve small businesses and nonprofits across the country. Started here in DC in 2012, and here we are 13 years later, still alive, still kicking, still doing it. Yeah. It has not been an easy journey for sure. So I guess I was told to tell you a little bit about my story, which is fine, it's interesting. But I thought what's even more interesting is the challenges, because I feel like when we go on a journey, you know, the successes that we have are important, and we all have successes, but I think often what's sometimes even more important are the challenges that we come up against, and how is it that we're going to move through those challenges? Because especially, I mean, with anything in life, and especially in running a business, you're going to come up with challenges, right? Okay, it's not easy. So how many business owners are here right now? Okay, yeah, a lot. Okay, a lot of you. Okay. And so if you are inspiring to be a business owner, just close your ears. Don't listen. Don't listen to any of the challenges. It's easy. Just do it. It'd be fine. So I started CFO Services Group in 2012. Obviously, I had a long history before that, but I got to DC. I was working as the CFO for the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. So that's the Hispanic chamber that oversees all the Hispanic chambers in the country. So I was the CFO there. And I was the CFO for a number of years in-house. And the challenge I kept hearing over and over again as I was CFO is our local chambers and even businesses would come to me periodically and ask me to help them analyze their finances, understand what's going on with their money and whatnot. And of course, the little entrepreneur bug got in me, and I said, you know what? Instead of doing this for an organization, I'm just going to start a business. I'm just going to do this. You know, I'm going to go out there and do this and get clients and do this for myself. So I left employment and started the business in 2012. And for the first year and a half, it was just me, and it was hard. It was not easy, right? Because suddenly I didn't have any income. And I had to figure out how to pay rent and things like that, which I didn't always do that first year or so. Luckily, I had a very understanding roommate, and he was very, very graceful in allowing me to slide on that. But, I had to learn really quickly. Has anyone ever read the book E-Myth? Be familiar with E-Myth? Yeah, okay, yeah, it's an amazing book. Yeah, okay, I mean, it's a phenomenal book. And actually, interestingly enough, my COO today actually was a coach at E-Myth, so she came from all that, which is really great. But it talks about how you get the entrepreneurial bug, and then you think, oh, well, I'm a great accountant. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to account. I'm just going to do accounting for all these businesses, right? And you forget that, no, you now have a business that you have to run. Like, not only do you have to do the accounting, but you got to do your own accounting. Oh, you got to go get your own clients. You got to make sure the clients are happy. You got to, write contracts. You got to market yourself, and all these things. So, it became a really hard, first few years of just getting into that and, working the classic 100 hours a week, you work all day servicing the clients, and then at night, you do everything else, right? So eventually you learn, at some point you got to hire, right? So about maybe a year or two into the business, I hired my first employee, and that was really interesting. You had to learn how to hire and how you're going to make ends meet with this person, because now you got another person you got to think of. And, you start with that first employee, and then from there, you keep growing. And, if it wasn't for resources that we see here today, like the chambers, right, Greater Washington Hispanic Chamber, and other chambers, DC Chamber, of course, Quality Chamber, all those, and the DSLBD, the SBDC, the SBA in general, all these resources, I wouldn't be able to have made it through those first few years. So, as a business owner, I really encourage everyone to always think about what resources are available to you that you can tap into, and many times for free, which is really great, of course, when you're running a business, because you just can't do it alone, right? So, here I am 13 years, and I was just actually having a conversation. It's like, well, you're 13 years in business now. You have it all figured out, right? No, not at all. Because as you grow, there's a saying, new level, new devil, right? So you grow your business, and then all of a sudden, these challenges come at you that you never thought of before, right? Suddenly, all these things come at you. So, as you grow your business, you have to learn how to hire, right? Then you have to learn how to start dealing with all the financial challenges, because growing a business is not cheap, right? It takes a lot of resources. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of financial resources, because as you grow, right, you hit capacity, then you got to hire new people. Then you got to hire a marketer. Then you got to hire a salesperson. Then you got to hire an accountant, right? And suddenly all your money goes out the door as you're funding all this, right? So you have to learn how to start moving through financial challenges, which is, by the way, one of the things that we do, right? That's why we exist, right? So, and you have to get over, like, how do I borrow money? How do I get a line of credit? How do I use this stuff, right? So you yourself are forced to even grow, in yourself and in your power, and just believe in yourself and know that, you know what? I'm going to take a loan out, and I know I'm going to make this work. This is going to happen. I believe in myself. I can do this, right? Technology is constantly changing, especially in accounting. Technology is changing, I feel like, every day, which is just a lot. Customer service, right? It's easy when you're the only one servicing your clients, but then you get an employee, then you get a team. Now your team is servicing people. How do you make sure they're doing the job that you want them to do, right? So you have to start thinking about these things. Start building processes, procedures, E-Myth, right? If you've ever read E-Myth, again. How do you do this? How do you handle turnover? How do you keep people happy? Not only do you have to keep your clients happy, you got to keep your employees happy, right? Because they're the ones producing, and you got to motivate them. You got to keep them going. Someone leaves. How do you handle the turnover, right? The economy. Anyone notice we're kind of in a weird economic time right now? Things have suddenly kind of shifted on us, right? Just like, 5 years ago, I think it was at this point, right? A little something called COVID happened, which I freaked out, by the way. When COVID happened, let me tell you, I was so scared. I thought I was going to lose my business. I thought all my clients were going to go out of business, and then I was done. And we had to learn how to quickly pivot and shift. And what do we do to not only protect ourselves, but protect the community? And that's one thing I always say is, like, you protect your community, you build your community, and you yourself will rise, right? A rising tide raises all boats, right? So how do we do that? How do we get sales? How do you handle your pricing and whatnot? So anyways, there's been a lot of challenges I've had in my business. And I can go into detail on all of those things, but I know I'm probably out of time. So I will just wrap up by saying this. If you run a business, don't ever give up. Make sure you learn to lean on your community, other entrepreneurs, right? Your chambers, your resources like that. Find your mentors and just keep going, because you only fail when you decide to quit. All right.
Hello, everybody. First, thank you so much for the invitation to speak today. It's truly an honor to be in a room with so many dynamic business owners, community leaders, and change makers who understand both the challenges and the victories that come with entrepreneurship. My name is Alexis Hagans, and I am the proud owner of Flowers by Alexis, a business that, thank you. A business that holds not just my name, but also my heart and my family's legacy. My story begins with my father, the original creative force behind our shop, and my mother, who was the administrative force. He named the business after me when I was just a child, probably never imagining that one day I'll take over and turn into what it is today. What began as a humble neighborhood flower shop has since blossomed into a full-service floral brand offering delivery, classes, community events, and co-creative space for others to gather, learn, and heal. Thank you. But let me be clear, this journey hasn't been seamless. Like so many of you, I've faced more than a few seasons of doubt and disruption. When I opened Flowers by Alexis, it wasn't during a season of stability. It was in the aftermath of a global pandemic when many businesses were closing their doors and uncertainty was everywhere. I wasn't pivoting from something that existed. I was building from scratch in a world that had completely changed. I had to get scrappy from day one. I leaned into creativity and community, the two things that had always been part of our roots. I built a delivery-first model, launched floral classes to reconnect people through creativity and open our doors, not just as a shop, but as a space for healing, gathering, and celebrating life moments safely and meaningfully. And through it all, I had to become more than just a florist. I had to become a marketer, an accountant, an event planner, a delivery driver, and often my own cheerleader. I learned to redefine what success looked like. Because the truth is, success doesn't always look like a big announcement or a viral moment. Sometimes it's making payroll. Sometimes it's staying open for one more month. Sometimes it's a single customer walking in and saying, "You made my day." There were days where progress looked like one foot in front of the other, days where hope had to be louder than fear. And yet, here we are. Flowers by Alexis is thriving today, not because we avoided adversity, but because we embraced it with heart, with hustle, and with hope. We kept showing up, even when it was hard, even when no one was watching, even when there were more questions than answers. And I believe everyone in this room knows what that type of grit feels like. It's the quiet resilience that doesn't always make headlines, but builds empires. It's the spirit of entrepreneurship, and it's alive and well in this city. So if you're sitting here today wondering whether your effort is making a difference, let me tell you, it is. Every sleepless night, every pivot, every rejection that taught you something new, that's what empowering success in a changing landscape really looks like. Your story, like mine, isn't being written, and the fact that you're here today, learning, sharing, showing up, means you're still turning the page. So I'll close with this. No matter how uncertain the landscape gets, never forget that that you are the constant. Your creativity, your resilience, your willingness to start again, that's your superpower. So keep going, keep building, and keep blooming. Lastly, I'd like to thank the Powerup organizers for having me here today. All the organizers that helped my business flourish, such as DSLBD, Petworth Main Street, Desby, Serve DC, just thank you so much. And if I left you out, don't charge my heart. But thank you so much, because I would not be who I am and where I am without your resources and your support. Lastly, I am now committed to other small businesses by giving back and connecting them and assisting them with the same resources that helped me, because we're truly better together than apart.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to start out that I'm feeling grateful to be here and I'm feeling grateful to be here and thank you, Powerup DC, for this opportunity to share my journey as a small business owner. And I'm honored to be a part of the platform that uplifts and empower local entrepreneurship. Small business are the heart of our community, and I'm proud to be among those working who make the difference every day. I'm to introduce myself. My name is Kathy Lu. I'm the founder and the owner of 3 small businesses, Spa Logic DC, Lulu Nail Salon, and Lulu Grooming Lounge. I'm founder of Spa Logic in 2012, so it has been 13 years this month. And I survived due to COVID because of my community that was there to support. And thank you for DC Chambers, as always, behind my back. My story going back in 1990, I left Vietnam when I was 12 years old. My mom owned a hardware store back in Vietnam where I already became entrepreneur at 11 years old. I was her bookkeeper. She didn't have a choice because I'm the only child, so and she trusted me. So I was her bookkeeper, and I always street smart. You know, so I believe street smart equal business smart. One day, she decided to leave her home country for the better future for her daughters. She told me that I'm going to take you vacation, and the next thing I knew, I was in the refugee camp for 5 years in Hong Kong. And we are one of the boat people. So after 5 years in the refugee camp, we feel blessed and grateful to get out of the refugee camp, come to United States, 1995, straight to Washington, D.C. I'm sorry, I'm emotional. Now D.C. is my home country where I spend most of my life than Vietnam or Hong Kong. I came to United States when I was 18. I didn't have the opportunity to go to school. So my mother told me to go to nail school. And I listened to her. Here I am today, not only small businesses owner, but minority woman-owned businesses. I have food service salon and a day spa, not only just one, but 3, because my resilience and vision go and dream big. Well, but last but not least, after the tragic loss of my fiancé in 2013, I was faced with the unexpected betrayal. His family attempted to take over my Powerup DC, the thriving business I have built with passion, love, hard work, sweat, and tears. But I refused to give up. I stood my ground and defend my dreams. With courage, resilience, I launched a backup plan. Open Lulu Nail Salon and Grooming Lounge. This is second venture become a bold testament to my strength, independence, and determination to rise above adversity to create success on my own terms. And I thank all the communities. And I believe the community is help you to grow and believe in yourself and fight for what is yours. And I'm here to share this story because I want you all to be aware of and take care of your own business. I feel like so unfair that I've been working so hard and I built this business for the last 13 years. And someone else just came in and just take it away from me. Everyone have told me, say, just leave. You don't need this headache. Come to my place. Even Miss XO Street Manson offered me the place to see my own client. But I say, it's not only myself, but I have employees that I have depending on me. And I fight for what is mine. I didn't take away from anybody. So I have the staff that I have responsible for, and not only just me building this company, but surrounding me that my employee was there to support me from the beginning. And since when they took over the business, it's a lot of mess, and a lot of people have been suffered. The payroll will be high. So I try to be there to support them and not to give up on them and not to let them disappointment on me. So I have a lot of responsibility, but I keep fighting and I keep going. I'm physically, mentally, I'm strong, but emotionally, yes, I do have up and down sometimes. And my people ask me, say, how do you do that? I don't know how you did it. I say, I don't have a choice to think about my emotion now. I have to keep going. Thank you so much for listening. And this month, we are celebrating Asian American and specific Islander heritage. Hope you enjoy your evening. And thank you for having me again. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All righty. That was amazing. Can we give those 4 testaments a rousing applause? I don't know what you heard out of that, but they are sheer examples of what it means to continue to push, preserve your health, your sanity. That's definitely important. But community. They all talked about their community, the people they're working for, their responsibility, and their passion about what they do. Those things are really important. So we thank you for sharing your stories. We appreciate that. We're coming to the end of our program, but did everybody feel like they got fed today? Pun intended, not the food on the table, people. Did you get fed? This was an amazing program. I want to thank the DC Health Benefit Exchange for everything they have done, but I want to pause and just take a moment of privilege to say thank you to Dr. Linda right here. Let's give her a round of applause. That's right. That is right. For Dr. Linda, that's right. Her commitment and passion to doing this work is something that we all appreciate. She needs her flowers in this moment. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Linda. Thank you. We love you. In this moment, I would love to bring back up Reverend Curry, as she's going to close us out now that we've eaten, we've been fed in this program, and we can continue to be light as we leave this room. Thank you, Reverend Curry. Y'all see Dr. Lena gave me some more instructions. Okay, don't forget, after this, there's the networking that's still going on. So there are tables outside, inside. Please make sure that you are talking to some of these folks. They have lots of gems and diamonds to drop, and you need to have something to write on. You can do that in your phone, by the way. There's a notes app. I'm certain everybody's phone has one if you don't have a pen. So there are no excuses, people. Right? Make sure you go out and do some networking. Go to the networking sessions. If you're unclear, I am certain there are lots of people here that have like lovely little logos on their lapels that can help and assist you. Yes? The table tennis. You heard Dr. Linda from the front? Table tennis, okay? All right. Thank you, everybody. Doctor.
All right. So as we are preparing to be dismissed from this room, if we could all stand. Typically a benediction is done when we are all standing, and so I hope that's all right if we can do that, those who are able. And a benediction is simply just pronouncing a blessing over those who have gathered as they begin to take in all that was given and to go forth with it. And so that's what the benediction is. And so may we pray. No matter what obstacles you face, may you be forever mindful that there is one who goes before you, one who will be with you, one who will never leave you nor forsake you. So go forth and be encouraged. Go forth and be a blessing. Go forth not only to do, but to be. Amen. Amen. God bless you.